Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. Grace? Well, why did that come out so funny? But, it is the 6th day after the storm, the winter storm Fern was scheduled to hit. That was the Friday. In this part of Texas, northeast of Dallas. I know much of the nation was hit. I don't live in much of the nation. I live right here. I like saying that. I really do. I live right here. I don't live there. I live here. And anyway, I've been stuck inside since then. Today was I went out Friday, and then I was here since Friday, and that's 6 days. Yeah, about 6 days, and going into the 7th now. I went outside a while ago and just got in my SUV and sat outside in front of my house because the roads are still kind of messy and not as bad. And I made a little bit of a video. It's kind of a bit of a video fail, but yeah, okay, that happens. And I was talking about, well, Adam, he just left. He went to go get us some hamburger because we've been eating stuff cooked at home, and neither one of us are good cooks. I'm not kidding. And it got bad yesterday. We had some food delivered late yesterday from a grocery store. And, some groceries delivered. And really, I'm not supposed to eat. Well, they said try not to eat anything out. And I haven't for 6 days because we don't, nobody was going to deliver in that mess. It was so much ice on the road. Still a little patch where trees are, like right here. Right outside there's a big tree and it shades anything melting, and it had refrozen last night. The slush and all. So anyway, Adam went to get us something to eat, and I told him, I said, I really don't want to say, okay, go do it, because what if something happened to you and you were killed on the road or something? I said, do you ever think like that? He said, of course I do. I said, I don't want to be the one to tell you that in the rest of my life I think like that. But I think a lot of people would, if you see that on TV shows and, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling here. It was good to get out and have some sun. And then I was sitting in my SUV and I did the windshield wiper because a bird had flown by and I thought that it kind of left me a present. And on my windshield, and so I go to wipe the windshield, and it had some water, put it on there, and not realizing there was some ice down in there below the windshield wipers. So I was afraid I broke them. I didn't, but it was still kind of like, oh wow, okay, we are not used to ice. This is Texas. A lot of places aren't used to ice, snow. There was a lot of snow, not a whole bunch. I've seen more. I have definitely seen more snow. But the temperature, I don't know if I had ever seen negative 18 before, and that was the wind chill. Negative 18. Don't think I've ever seen that. I've not just lived in Texas. I've lived in several places, states, several places. Many places, I should say. But several states, and I was born and raised in Texas, though. And seriously, this is Texas. It's getting worse every year, so I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, stop going into denial. Anyway, that's my view, and I'm sticking to it. Social and behavioral scientist here. But anyway, he's going to get in my hamburger is this. No mayonnaise, no condiments, no pickles, no extra salt, no jalapenos, because they come with jalapenos. And then whenever I get it, I take the bread off. I'm serious. Okay, no extra salt. And that's my hamburger. Yeah. But I don't really like it like that, but hey, when you've been eating only your own cooking and it's awful. I actually today So I'm going to look up some more recipes. But the recipe stuff is the same stuff I know how to cook. Okay, and I cook it. And really, my cooking probably isn't awful. It's just, you get tired of your same old stuff. I mean, we've had stuff like, he can eat, but I can't. I can't eat much sodium. And we did have some corned beef hash. He made it. I taught him how to make corned beef hash. I really can't have it. You know, the corned beef from a can. Oh, man, sodium galore. And I ate very little bit, and that's too much. And not really too much, but still, it's a very little bit I can eat. And my stomach's been growling for like the last couple of days. And we finally got some groceries last night, and they haven't delivered all of it. It's being delivered in pieces. Apparently, you know, the storm. They were, nobody could go to work. I actually called one place, and it was weird. It was a young woman. I'm thinking she was probably, maybe from India, you know, with her accent, and I could tell she was really young. And she said it was in the day that it was supposed to be the worst. And I called it just out of curiosity. Adam was asking, because I saw something online. Adam ran out of cigarettes. He's older than I, and I've known him all these years, since 1981. I reminded him, kept reminding him. He goes, I got him, okay, good, great. Yeah, he smoked too many, and he ran out. And so I called her, and I said that they deliver. I said, are y'all really delivering today? And it took her a while to answer the phone. And she said, I don't know. She said, I'm the only person here. I'm like, whoa. She's real young, real sweet sounding. And I said, wow. And she sounded terrified. It was like around 8 o'clock in the morning, and she sounded terrified. Seriously. She goes, I'm not. And she started mumbling, and I could understand her. What she said was, I'm the only person who's going to be running the cash register. The only cashier's going to be here, and nobody else is going to be here. It's only going to be me. How in the world she got in, I don't know. You know, because she did not sound like anybody in management. And where's the manager? Because she was saying she's all by herself. And I'm like, that's a big store, a big chain store. And they have somebody there, a young girl. She practically sounds like a teenager. And she could be an adult. 18-year-old is still an adult. But it's also a teenager. 18, get it? But 19. Anyway, she sounded so young, and that just sounded so scary to me. So I think I calmed her a little bit. You know, just hearing somebody my age probably calmed her. Maybe. She sounded like she got a little bit calmer. I said, well, you take it. Said, you be careful and take it easy. And, because I could hear her, the sound in her voice, pure terror. Really. And it was kind of sad, to tell you the truth. I mean, I wouldn't have expected them to have... I didn't know what it was outside of here. And I know our road, it was impassable. Isn't that the word? Impassable. And I wouldn't know how anybody would get down here. But Adam had said another road, the one that's busier, was okay. Well, they're not all going to be busier. And plus, there's a lot of creeks around here, lakes, all this kind of stuff. And people have to go over those bridges. I flew over a bridge one time. It was not marked. And it wasn't even freezing. The temperature wasn't even freezing. And it wasn't marked, like I said. And there was two sides. There were two lanes on each side, 2 or 3. And I went over the bridge. I was in an SUV, a Pathfinder. And bam, hit some ice or something. Started sliding, and the people other side of it going the other direction, crashed into one another. Sled crashed in. I managed to get my SUV somehow, some way, to go right, corrected it. And luckily nobody was around me. And after that I said, never again. Never again. So we can't predict everything because there was nothing that said there was a bridge there. So there was a creek there. Nothing like that. Anyway, I was going to talk about a certain topic, but I go with my own flow. That's how it is. I just do. I do stream of consciousness, sort of. But go with my own flow. Anyway, I'll be glad to have a hamburger, but the roads really should be de-iced, but yeah, because he's going to be going to main roads, and this little patch right here, but he went yesterday because he ran out of cigarettes, and I was asleep during the day. I fell asleep. I slept a lot. I did too, but he did too. And he went when I was asleep to go get him some cigarettes at that store. And I woke up and I said, you gonna go? Because the temperature was up into the 50s. And today right now it's up into close to 60. So, but that doesn't mean that it's all melted, And so he's already done it. He knows what's out there. I don't. And I just worry, like he said, of course he does. I do worry. And he, wanted to go get a hamburger. I wanted something else, but I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to be the one to tell him. He had to make up his own mind what he was going to do. And we were also going to get our dog, and I said no, because if that dog, the one that, all this started on Friday, I think it was Friday or Thursday, Friday, it bit the other dog. They got into a fight. And the other dog she's not a little dog, she's a big dog, but she's a young dog. And I don't even know, I don't think she's even 2 years old yet, a year and a half maybe? Maybe. Closer to 2. But she's just so innocent, she's so sweet. She's a large dog, so is he. But I called and asked them if they'd keep him till Monday. Today's Thursday. We want to spend a little time finding out if, what we can do. And it was weird, as she said, apparently, there's, those, I don't even want to say the name of it, but you can buy humans to chill them out. It's legal. It's legal stuff. But also for dogs. And I told Adam, I said, when you go and pick her up, because he wanted me to call him. I said, when you go pick him up, I don't go there to pick them up or drop them off. But, since you ask her about that, how much do you give him? What do you, is it going to chill him out? Or is he, going to get mean? Because they said they can't give him anything to sedate him on a regular basis. I was saying, what do we do? So I said, I don't want him to hurt my girl dog again, like he did. I said, and I told her, I said, luckily we had some medication she had before, and, he gave it to her a couple of days, and, until the swelling went down. It was for inflammation, and, we know what it was all about, and they've done it before, but we had it for the girl dog, and after a couple of days, she finally started feeling better. So, anyway, the dog is going to stay in the kennel. And she was saying he's overweight. And I said, I know, he is very overweight. And the thing about it is, we don't feed him that much. And he is the second dog that we've had that's been really overweight. And I said, I know that y'all checked his thyroid. And, we talked about, she said, go ahead and try to Google some of these things for training. Or we can talk to you about them when you come pick him up. And I said, well, one of the things I Googled, it said that he could have attacked her because he's in pain or a thyroid problem, and that's what it come up. And I said, y'all already checked him for thyroid. before, more than once. And it's negative, He doesn't have a thyroid problem. But, maybe he's in pain. She said, well, he has been on medication before a few times for inflammation. She said, so, at the end of the call, she said, you want me to give him medication, start medication for the inflammation now? I said, that'd be good. So, maybe that's what it is. But he does need to be on a diet. We don't get it. He could have a rare condition that dogs get. And I know about it. But it's very rare. I have a rare health condition. It's very rare. So, anyway, but I don't know. I really am afraid he's going to come in here. And I wasn't going to have him here the weekend because these weekend con artists that have vets, they immediately say $10,000 to $12,000 per day to just put him in a box that has air flowing in it. Yeah. I was not born yesterday, and I'm not new to this planet. And Adam, I'm very logical. I know sounds the opposite of what you'd think. I'm very logical. He's very emotional. And he wanted to pet, and I said, no, we're not doing that. The other dog we had last year, nope, not happening. And I loved the dog and all that, but it was a con. And I saw another dog that was there, and they weren't taking care of the dog. It's not like they were making $10,000 to $12,000 a day. And the first day, $6,000 after that, and they were just ignoring the dog. Because they were on Friends show, and their friends were there drinking coffee and mugs and those kinds of chairs, seats. I'm not kidding. And, no. But anyway, I didn't want him here this weekend, and there would be no, so we're going to pick him up on Monday. And, hopefully we can see what we can do about that kind of chill him out. The chill out stuff. And I'm kind of afraid to have that around here because Adam might say, I want to try it. The way he was about his cigarettes. And basically I was saying that he also slept a lot, and he didn't realize, he thought it was a little over 24 hours. It was a little over 48 hours. And he was without cigarettes, and he's one, he should quit. I did. A few years ago, he should quit. He said he would if I did, and I did, and he didn't. He didn't try. Really, he says he tries, and I don't believe him anymore. I don't believe him with it. But anyway, he should be coming home now. And I don't know, maybe so. I don't know how long I've been sitting here talking. But yeah, it was something else this week. And we were here, just us two and the girl dog. And that was the first time we've ever been alone with her. Seriously, she was a rescue. They both were. And it was the first time we've ever been. We got her last year in April, and this is January. And we've never been alone with her that we can remember, maybe a day or two or something. And I don't even think that. But she's so calm now. And man, when he left to take the other dog to the vet, to the kennel, and we had to put her outside to separate them. And when he was attacking her, he wouldn't stop. And when Adam left to go to drop the dog off the kennel last Friday, and I let her back in, she was so scared. And she's not, like I said, she's a large dog. And she was so terrified to try to come back in the house because she was afraid that the dog was going to be in here and attack her. And I was so angry. That's the second dog. The other dog he attacked last year, and it didn't make it. It was already very ill. It had kennel cough, even though it had his shots. And there's always some strain, that they don't know. And we had 2 dogs before that were put in a doggy spa, and they came out and they both had kennel cough, and they had their shots, their kennel cough shot, Bordetella, whatever it's called. And so we know the score. And then this dog, we had kept her at one place, and we were afraid she might have it too. When she got out of there, it was a different place. When the other dog was ill, but anyway, seeing her when she came back in, after Adam left, and she was so terrified, it was so sad, pulled at my heartstrings, like you would not believe. And I'm telling him, I'm not having him in here over the weekend. We've got to figure out what we're going to do ahead of time. And it's kind of expensive, I said, but you know what? That extra 100, however much it is, maybe 150, 160, somewhere around there, to keep her, keep the dog, in the kennel over the weekend, for today is Thursday, so until Monday. I don't know how much that would be, but it's going to be under 200. I said, that's a lot less than 10 to 12,000. Because he doesn't think like that, but, we're comfortable. We can do this. And, be comfortable. We're comfortable as far as money. We haven't always been. We were dirt poor when we met, okay? When we first got married, dirt poor. We went through all those stages. Oh, man. Talk about rough. Yeah, you gotta learn how to work hard and smart. Some people say, just work smart. No, you're going to wind up. Not everybody can do that. You work hard and smart. Whatever it takes. Not whatever it takes, like cheat and steal and all that, but to be honest, to be an honest person, it might take both. It might not take both. So, hard and smart. Anyway, this was my ramble for the day. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.